So welcome. We are on page 54. Hopefully today is our is where we conclude this first book, Compassionate Objectivity. So let's start. If you remember, the last time we were talking about moderation with respect to money. Master gave a lot of guidance with respect to money. So just a reminder, why are we doing this? Why did we do this book study? Because Master has given great importance to character development. Master Choa, yeah, our teacher. All right. So coming back to page 54, the thing to understand is that this virtue affects all aspects of our lives. Every aspect of our life, this virtue is very, very important. So now in the next few sutras, we will look at different aspects of life. So now here Master says, practice moderation. Do not overwork. Keep your body healthy. So maybe you have come across some people who are called workaholics. Have you come across somebody who's called a workaholic? You must have seen that with people like that, their life is imbalanced because their time for family, their time for relationships, most importantly, even their time for their own health is reduced because they are, always subah or sham, kaam hi kaam, something like that. So they are not able to prioritize their health. So Master is reminding that we must, of course, we have to do work. Of course, we have to do, but in moderation. Leave some time, adequate time for rest, for restoring the body. Yeah. Even homemakers, when we think of people who are working, we sometimes only think of people who are in business or people who go to office. Even homemakers, and I've seen homemakers who will push their bodies even when they are tired, even when they are sick. They will continue to, apply themselves in their work. So this is a reminder to everybody, no matter what your nature of work is, do not overwork. Do your, do your, fulfill your responsibilities, but then do not overwork. Keep priority for your health. Okay, let's go to the next sutra. Moderation in relation to sex means that one must have a healthy attitude towards sex. At the same time, it means that one must transmute some of the sex energy for psychological and spiritual development. Now, this is one of the valuable things that Master Choa has taught all of us, his chelas, that our attitude towards sex should not be puritanical. Puritanical, you understand, where there were these one sect of Christianity or one part of Christianity. They were called the Puritans. Why? Because they believed that everything related to the body, all the desires of the body, including sex, was immoral or unethical or unhealthy. So they would end up with a lot of health issues and, of course, other issues. The other extreme with regard to or other type of unhealthy attitude towards sex is where there is overindulgence, there is obsession with sex. So what Master is telling us, don't be puritanical, don't think that sex is bad or evil. Also, don't overindulge in sex. So sex is natural, sex is healthy, but it must be regulated. Now, there is a difference between regulation and suppressed. So, Master, when he says, actually, he doesn't say here, but he just says moderation. Now, what does it mean? How do you moderate the desire for sex? It's basically like a regulator, like the fan is a regulator. You can control the thing. So, control, moderation is required. Otherwise, what happens is in one extreme, you see, you have to understand this that a healthy attitude towards sex will help you with staying physically healthy, emotionally healthy, even mentally and spiritually in your development. Why? Because Master has explained that the energy of the sex chakra is what enables the Kundalini to rise. It is necessary for the development of the upper chakras. Are you familiar with the Lord's Prayer meditation? There, when he comes, Master takes us chakra by chakra. So when he comes to the sex chakra, he says sex is natural, sex is healthy, it needs to be regulated. The sex energy or energy of the sex chakra can rise up, it can be transmuted. And as it rises up, he makes us take our awareness to the heart. And there he says it will manifest as development of the heart chakra, development of tenderness and intimacy and love and so on. Then he says, goes to the throat chakra, it improves your creativity, higher creativity. And then it goes up, it improves your mental ability and even up to the crown. It rises, it helps you with your spiritual development. You see, one of the goals of spiritual development is to develop the antakarana. Okay, so for that, sex energy is necessary. That is the sort of the fuel on which the Kundalini rises. So that is why Master is telling us one must transmute some of the sex energy for psychological. Psychological means emotional and mental and spiritual development. All right. Now the question comes: how do you transmute it? Do you know some ways to transmute sex energy? I'm sure you do. Number one, you know about super brain yoga. Super brain yoga, yes. Number two, in psychotherapy, we are taught a specific technique for transmutation of sex energy. Those of you who have done the course, I'm sure you remember. If you don't remember, please go back to your book. Yeah. And those of you who have not done the course, pranic psychotherapy, please do it as soon as possible because I think it is one of the most valuable courses in Master Choa's school. Yes, shall we move forward? Let's go to Sutra number 3. Actually, staying back on Sutra number 2, because I say this because, unfortunately, when moderation is not applied, we see examples of evil. In the last session, I gave this one thought and I said, please think about it. What was that thought? I said that, you know, there is no evil in this world. My theory, I disclaimer is it is my theory. Master is not saying this. My theory is that there is no evil in this world. What we call evil is essentially imbalance or excessiveness. Just here, Master has told us that sex is natural and sex is healthy. And yet we see crimes and very vicious crimes related to sex. How should we understand that? Is that not evil? Yes, it seems evil because what it is that the healthy, moderated sex desire has instead become unbalanced. It has become excessive. So, in that respect, you can see, for example, to earn money, is it bad? Is it bad to earn money? ऐसा कमाना क्या गलत है? No, but जब वो excessive हो जाती है, then it leads to corruption, it leads to greed, it leads to wrong practices and so on, which is what we call evil. My point is that if you think about it, you will find that all expressions of what we call evil is essentially some virtue gone excessive. सोचिए इसके बारे में जो भी हम बोलते हैं कि ये evil है, it is essentially good quality taken to an excess. So that is why this virtue is very, very important. That is why Lord Buddha has also stressed. उन्होंने क्या बोला? Middle path. You must walk on the middle path. No excesses. In life, everything is good, everything adds value, as long as it is in moderation. All right, let's move on. Sorry if I'm lecturing you. So the next sutra, Regulate your mind. Do not worry excessively about the future. If you have done everything that has to be done, the future will take care of itself. So, worrying is, I think, one of the most common excesses that we do. यहाँ हम बात कर रहे हैं excesses की, है ना, आवश्यकता से अधिक. So, I think most of us may perhaps be guilty of this excess, that we worry excessively. And it causes many problems. It causes health problems. It can even affect your success and your prosperity. Why? Because एक मास्टर चौहा ने प्रिंसिपल हमें दिया है, energy follows thought. Now most of our worrying is negative. I mean, actually it is only negative. Negative Negatively हम किसी situation को सोचते हैं. Supposing ऐसा हो गया, maybe this will happen, maybe that will go bad. What if this happens? Oh, I will be supposing this person, I will say hello to this person will not respond, it will be so embarrassing. I go to this place, and where people don't recognize me or don't respect me, it will be so embarrassing, etc., etc. Now, what you are, if you think about it excessively, you are creating a thought form and you are energizing it again and again. You keep thinking, keep आप उसको energy देते जा रहे हैं. What will happen? It has a tendency to manifest. That is the whole principle of Kriya Shakti. Yes, we have talked about Kriya Shakti in the previous sessions, so you will remember. Kriya Shakti essentially involves take a thought form, add energy to it, emotional energy, pranic energy, and it tends to manifest. So, when we worry excessively, only creating we are planting the seed for that thing to happen. Now, does it mean that we should not think? Does it mean that we should not plan? Does it mean that we should not anticipate problems? Does it mean that we should not think, okay, if this happens, what will I do? No, no, no. That is not the idea. It is very important to plan. It is very important to think. हो सकता है ऐसा हो जाए, then what will I do? And so on and so forth. ये सब, all that is important. But worrying excessively is not helpful. You see, when we did the virtue of accurate perception, one of the things we discussed was that when there are problems, it is very important to have a peaceful mind. Like, do you remember that? Mental peace or a calm mind and a sharp mind is what helps you solve problems. Because then you can take the best decision. If your mind is in turmoil, chances are you will take wrong decisions or the improper decision or not the best decision. So what we had talked about then was, you see, what Master says is, if you have done everything that has to be done, the future will take care of itself. So what are you supposed to focus on? In this situation, what should I do? If this happens, what do I have to do? Focus on your action, or in other words, focus on the solution, not the problem. What you can do, what you cannot do, not what you cannot do. जो हम नहीं कर सकते हैं, उस पर ज्यादा वरी is not going to help. Think about, okay, if this happens, okay, शांत दिमाग से सोचिए, what is it that I can do? All right. So focus on the solutions, focus on your actions, and have this confidence. Have this confidence in God, in nature. If I have done whatever I can do, end of matter. From my side, end of matter. Now we will see what happens. अगर मेरे कर्म ऐसा है कि मुझे वो चीज अच्छी होनी है तो हो जाएगी. Whatever. So you remember I talked about this person called Nick Vujicic. I sorry, man, हो सकता है नाम सही नहीं हो. He is this guy who's born without limbs. याद है? I don't know if any of you remember. I have talked about him many times. Why? Because he is a great example of somebody with a lot of limitations, but he focuses on what he can do. And by doing that, He's become a celebrity speaker. He does swimming. आप सोचिए, हाथ नहीं है, पैर नहीं है, लेकिन स्विमिंग कर पाता है. He does water skiing. There's a video of him doing water skiing. Why? Because he focuses on not on the disability, but what he is able to do. So that is what Master is reminding us. Just focus on what you can. क्या कर सकते हैं वो सब कुछ कीजिए. And then just leave it, because the law of nature will take care. Right? All right, let's come to the next one, the last sutra. Intelligence, love, and willpower should be equally developed. As you grow, what you consider as moderate or not moderate will change. This, I think, again, before the book ends, Master is reminding us purpose of life is spiritual development. You remember we talked about Dattatreya in the previous session. आपको slide भी मैंने दिखाया था. It's a reminder, all three soul aspects. The soul has three aspects, right? Light, love, and power. They have to be developed and they have to be balanced. Again, a reminder, imbalance leads to improper actions. Imbalance in the extreme is what we call evil. Avoid कीजिए. We have to keep them in balance. Now, then, Master also says, as you grow, what you consider as moderate or not moderate will change. देखिए, एक लेवल पर हैं आप. इस लेवल पे the balance between light, love, and power is different. Maybe at this stage, say, let's talk about me. Maybe at my stage right now, maybe light is somewhat developed, but will may be weak and love may be weak. So I have to focus on these two. उन दोनों को मुझे develop करना है. Now, hopefully, I will in some years or maybe in some lifetimes, I will be at a higher stage. But at that time, what I have to work on may change. Correct? So, जो you see, it's like एक तराजू है, उसके अंदर आप चीजें डालते जाएंगे तो बैलेंस इम्बैलेंस होता जाएगा. फिर आप उसको सही करेंगे, फिर इम्बैलेंस हो जाएगा, फिर उसको सही करेंगे, इम्बैलेंस होता जाएगा. So that is what Master is telling us. It is not static, it is dynamic. Now, what that also reminds us is that all the other virtues we have talked about are relevant. It is the balance of the virtues that Master is telling us here. All right. So, last sutra. Now, let's come to the invocation, invoking for God's blessings. Say, Lord God, please bless me with moderation and non excessiveness so that I may live a balanced and prosperous life with thanks and improvement. So, again, a reminder, just doing it once is not important, is not sufficient. You have to repeat it. Every time you do the invocation, do it 7 times. You don't have to speak it, you can do it mentally. And if this is the virtue that you want to develop, just it takes barely 2-3 minutes to do this 7 times. Do this for 2-3 months. Master is saying 2 months, maybe 3 months. ये करते रहिए, you will see the change in yourself. I am guaranteeing it. My guarantee. Just do it and you will see the difference. So we have come to the end of this book, and now we'll take a short break. Next week, from Friday, we will resume, and the timings may also change. So please keep watching our. Please monitor our group for future for further announcement. Any questions? Anything to share? You can just unmute yourself. I will just give me a moment.